Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, my toasted strudels. Back to the channel. Real quick, let me go and get my disclaimer out of the way. As you can probably see, the video is going to be long as dog shit, so let me just give y'all the heads up on this. First of all, please stay hydrated, y'all. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Typically speaking, what I try to do on this channel is try to get the gist of what I want to go with in the first 5 minutes, because I understand, hey, you may not have time to watch the whole entire video. So for your convenience sakes, that's what I try to do. If I can, the best of my ability. If I can't, I apologize on that. Anyhow, after 5 minutes, that's typically when I try to be more expansive on certain thought process, or try to get more explanation about why I brought X, Y, and Z up in the first 5 minutes. All this, and the third, just so y'all know. Anyhow, now let me get to the meat of this video. Oh, real quick. Just so you guys know, again, I will create a playlist for this somewhere down the road, but please, if you would do me the favor, just remind me. If I tend to forget, just remind me. But this is going to be a part 2 to essentially a series that I am planning on doing for the next coming weeks. This one is going to be into resentment, generational resentment, to be specific. And what I wanted to start this particular video off is something that, and again, well, actually, hold on. Before I go into that, let me give y'all a little quick, a bit of a. Let me give y'all a quick background story as to why this even concept came up in the first place. And don't worry, I'll probably put her link to her channel in the description bar below, and or the comment section for you guys to go follow her or go check her out and see how you like her or whatnot. The Miss Brittany Simon, shouts to her. She had her and I had a conversation in regards to generational resentment, because I thought it was a very interesting topic for her to discuss. She definitely opened it up to me to say, hey, would you like to collaborate on this? I said, absolutely, sure. And we definitely had chopped up, and we had a great discussion. And I told her that I definitely want to make this, or I alluded to her, I can't remember specifically, but I alluded to her that I definitely want to make this into like a series, because I think there's a lot to break down about this. But anyhow, just give y'all some quick context. What I want to start this particular video off, or this next installment within the series, is talking about creating a timeline. Now, this is the thing, and I'm going to change my seating real quick so I can give y'all some quick illustration of what I want to get at here. When I talk about creating a timeline, right? A line has a start and it has an end, okay? But when I'm talking about the timeline, I just want to let you guys know that just the line, if you have a piece of paper, you draw with a pencil, pen, whatever it is case, and you draw a line, you notice that it has two sides. It has the left, it has the right. So the way I want to approach this is, when I speak of a timeline, I'm not strictly just talking about your family lineage, how far back it goes necessarily. Because let's say that's the left side of the line that you may be more inclined to do more so for yourself on a personal note. But the other side of that line I also want to recognize is the generational one. Meaning, like, say, for instance, for people who are like, I guess I would say, am I Gen Z? I think I'm Gen Z, yeah. Gen Z, right? For us, on the other side of that line, what we're going to do is we're going to take Gen Z and we're going to say, okay, how far back can we take this to Gen A? And then it's like, okay, how far back does Gen A go to? Again, we got to scroll this all the way back. Now, here's the reason why we need to do this, y'all. Or, excuse me, what I would encourage y'all to do is, let me correct myself on there. Because a secondary disclaimer I do want to give real quick, y'all, is this. At the end of the day, you have your own autonomy, and I want you to use it. No matter what, y'all, please, first of all, take what I say with a grain of salt. Because don't get twisted, y'all. I'm only 26 years old. I have not been on this planet for that long. And what I do know is oftentimes past is information that's been passed on from generation to generation. So what I'm covering or what I'm trying to approach is nothing new by all means. I just want to get maybe a unique spin on it to where it may be very helpful for some people in the way that it's helped me. Excuse me, a second. Oh, whew. Pardon me. But anyhow, I apologize. Let me get back to what I was saying is the thing is, and let me make something very clear. Because let's go with the personal. If you want to look at your family heritage, right? You want to look at, okay, my mama's side, my daddy's side. Okay, who are my grandparents? Who are my cousins? Who are my great grandmother, my great grand aunt? Yada, yada, yada. Scrolling back. This is the thing I want y'all to understand is that the point of it is not to necessarily you have to look up all these different relatives necessarily. The point being is try to see from your genetic makeup, where does certain qualities of life that you uphold for yourself come from? Where do they stem from? Because it's like this. Like I'll use myself for example, right? I can tell that when it comes to my height, I got that more so from my mother. When it comes to more so my facial features, I get it a little bit more so from my father. You know, I got a mixture of a bit of everything from both of them. But then when it comes more in depth of, okay, put like this, right? Physically speaking, I have a little bit of everything from them, but I might hear a little bit more physically from my appearance from my father and my height difference more so a little bit to my mother, just a bit. Because she's tall. She's a bit of, she's tall like, damn. That's just me looking at it from a physical standpoint. Because here's the thing, y'all, there's levels to these things. So check this out. Because this is what I would encourage y'all to do. Don't just create your timeline with the focus of, okay, I'm just going to check out the physical aspects of where do I inherit these things from. We also have to look at the mental. We have to look at the emotional. And again, take it and leave it if you want to. We have to look at the spiritual. Look at every layer of your being and say, where does X, Y, Z stem from? Because let me make some clear, y'all. It's not impossible that there are certain qualities of life that you uphold for yourself that just started with you. That's not impossible. But if there's ever come to a point in time where you question, like, why do I have this particular family? And I'm pretty sure all of us have asked this question at some point in time. Like, we question, why was I born in this particular family as opposed to the one down the street or the one 100 miles away from me? You get what I'm saying? And I think in that thought process, that might help kind of like keep you focused. Now, let's take it into the realm of the generational. Excuse me, a second. Pardon me. One moment. Wet my lips up a little bit. Okay, doing decent with time. Now, when it comes to generational timeline, because, real quick, so I can tell y'all this real quick. When I talk about the line, or when you want to create this timeline, my encouragement would be this. Take it one step at a time. Take it one step at a time, y'all. Because this is the thing. How would I say this? Don't pressure yourself to feel like you have to solve these things immediately. Take your time with it. Like I said, go with the physical first. Go as far back as you possibly can, or you care to do so, and focus on one aspect. And here's the thing. You go any one if you want to. You don't have to start with the physical if you don't want to. That's perfectly fine. I just find that that's the most easiest one you can start off with. And the same thing goes with the generational side of it. Take your time with it. So an example I want to use for the generational one is this. Like, for example, when it comes to, I'm trying to think what's a good one I can use. Okay, a great one. Like when it comes to cooking, right? That's a great one. Cooking. When it comes to us cooking for certain cultures is a huge deal. First of all, hold on. Let me correct myself on this real quick. First and foremost, if okay, first of all, hold on. Let me break my thoughts on that real quick. Let me put a pause on that real quick. Let me give y'all a quick PSA real quick. First and foremost, y'all, I don't care what age you are watching this video. If you can honestly tell me you don't know how to cook, bitch, you don't know how to cook water? Excuse me? Excuse me, boil water? I'm gonna say this now. Please, please, I implore you, get on that shit, please. Because that's fucking ridiculous. And I ain't saying you gotta be a master chef. I'm saying please just know some dishes that you can prepare for yourself and for those around you in a healthy manner if you possibly can. Please, y'all, because that's ridiculous. But I just want to get that off my chest real quick, and I'm probably going to touch on that in another video. Anyhow, that's not even there. The example I'm trying to get y'all is this: like with cooking. Think about if you ask the average man, right? If you ask the average man, what are, let's say, some essential skills that he would want in his partner? 9 times, let's not even say 9 times out of 10, let's say half of the time, his top 3 qualities is going to involve cooking. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say for my ladies real quick, because this is the notion I think, again, from our generational resentment. All right? Again, this is why I'm using cooking. Because the thing is this: some of you women, some of you ladies out here, some of you females, yes, I'm going to go there, there is a level of resentment that you have towards not the kitchen necessarily, but you have a resentment. And I'm not speaking, hey, hold up, because you know who you are. Don't front. You know who you are. And gentlemen, you know who I'm talking about. Don't lie. You can picture someone as I'm speaking to you. And ladies, you probably know a fella too. Don't get twisted. Just go to the fellas too. It applies on both sides of the spectrum. And in the middle, I even got my toaster strudels out here, okay? It applies to everyone, period. But, and again, everyone has different affinities, you know, for X, Y, and Z. So, again, I'm not saying you got to be a master chef or anything like that, but learn something. Anyhow, I understand that the stigma, that's the thing, the stigma of, oh, get in the kitchen, you need to be fixing my food, make me a sandwich. The thing is this: it's not about, and I'm not speaking for every man, but you know who you are when I say this, that ladies, when that sentiment comes up at the core root of it, it's not about I'm unable to cook for myself. It's more so that, typically speaking, men are going to work more harder than you. And when I say work harder than you, I'm not saying that what you're doing in your own progression of work or study or what have you is lesser, to a lesser degree, than the average man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, typically speaking, when you go back 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, you also have to take consideration a lot of women did not have themselves in the workplace like that. That was generally something most men, the typical, again, here in America, typically speaking, you saw a lot more men out there working more harder jobs. When I say harder, I'm talking about jobs that are a lot more stress on the body. This is what I'm trying to say to y'all. And again, don't get twisted. Every job has its own stresses. But men, typically speaking, we're going into certain positions that are more stressful on our bodies, first and foremost. Also, our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual. Okay? So let's say with cooking, the thing is this: after a long day of work, when he get home, deep down inside, he knows that his body doesn't want junk food. He knows his body doesn't want to have to go to McDonald's or go. Don't get it twisted. I'm not shitting on McDonald's or any particular fast food restaurant, but I'm saying this: deep down, he wants to know that he's come home to a home cooked meal. It is the thing. It ain't gotta be world class. It ain't gotta be by any means, you know, make you want to slap your mama. But at the very least, knowing that when he comes home, he knows that his wife or his lady or his husband, whatever is the case may be, knowing that when he comes home, when he sits down, when he comes into the door, he can just smell. He can smell something cooking. It may not even have to be ready. He just smells it. And he just thinks to himself, it puts a smile on his face to know that he don't have to stress about, oh, now I gotta cook this, now I gotta boil this, now I gotta cut up. That's one less stress on his mind. And knowing that you go out your way to take the initiative to do it for him, it means the whole let me say this, it means the whole world to us. And I'm speaking for everybody who truly appreciates someone who goes out their way to really cook for you. And I understand maybe not there's certain dishes that you don't like, that they like. I understand. But you still putting forth that effort, thank you very much. But now this is the reason why I'm saying this in the realm of generational resentment. Because the thing is this, you're thinking in your mind, and I'm not saying this is for a fact for all women. I'm not saying this for all women, and this is not necessarily for all men, but you know who you are. I understand that when it comes to the kitchen, there's some level of resentment in the back of your mind that's keeping you from saying, I need to learn this. I need to understand how to cook. I need to know how to clean. I know how to manage my environment. Because here's the thing. Yes, sometimes we can experience certain negative, let's not say negative. I'll say this. Some of us can experience unforeseen circumstances that have a negative impact on our lives, or they stem from negative stimulus or stimuli. I think it's stimuli from back in the day that can prevent us from doing what we need to do. Another example, hold on, how much time I have? Okay, this is not that bad. Another quick example I'm gonna give y'all, and I'm gonna leave on this, is reading. If you know a certain stereotype that people who are very low income don't have access to education, thus they cannot have access to learning, or they don't have the educational level from an academic standpoint as the average person. And that might hold truth for some, that may not true for everyone. That's why I'm saying stereotype, because that's not necessarily true for everyone, but that is a reality for some people. And the thing is this, if you're coming up in an environment from a generational point of view, here's the thing, y'all. If you're coming from a generational place, or excuse me, you're coming from a particular environment where generation upon generation upon generation has continuously degraded the importance of an education, of understanding and enriching your knowledge, and understanding how to incorporate your wisdom and applying said knowledge in your daily lives for the betterment of yourself and for your community. The thing is this, excuse me for a second. The thing is this, what's going to happen is children are going to start just coming out the womb already discouraged. Because the thing is this, you have done, I'm not saying you haven't done nothing, I'm not going to say that. But the efforts that you put in trying to fight back against that stigma, you try to fight against that resentment, you're not pushing all the way through. You're not being consistent with it. See, you can start it, but are you going to finish it? That's the issue at hand. Like, I'm going to give y'all a quick example, or I'm going to give y'all a little tidbit about myself, right? I'm by no means the greatest. I'm not the greatest within my reading comprehension and my spelling comprehension. I'm not. Or my spelling. I'm not. I'll tell y'all the truth on that. But you know, something I will always be grateful for is my mother pushing me to always want to, you know, like go to the bookstore or, you know, write down sentences, you know, especially on the fucking weekends, you know, shit, especially when you had no homework. And not in my fucking house, you gonna have some work, motherfucker. Not all the time, thankfully, now, shit. But especially during the summertime, too. That shit would be fucking annoying. But ultimately, y'all, I'm still appreciative that my mother instilled in me the desire to still have the ability of learning how to process information and how to write it down. I'll always be grateful for that. Because you know what I recognize, y'all, as I got older and I looked in my environment, or I looked in the particular circles that I might find myself in, or more so I would find myself observing, is that not everyone has the same thought process. Not everyone, you know, is very, how would I say this, has the mindset of being very fortunate that they are able to read, they're able to write. Again, you don't have to be a poet necessarily. You don't have to be Shakespearean, or you don't have to be Plato. You don't have to be these folks to still understand the importance of, again, learning how to jot down information and passing it on. That's why, y'all, excuse me for a second. Pardon me, y'all. That's why, for me, y'all, I'm thankful for the fact that I'm able to process, I'm able to write down my thoughts. Because sometimes, y'all, when you're really not in the mood to speak, then you have to find another outlet to get these emotions, or put it like this, right? Because I'm on. Okay. I'm in on this, right? It's good to have different outlets to essentially, again, decrease that built up resentment that's just building itself inside of you. It can be for several different reasons that ultimately, be if it's in your control or not, it is what it is. I'm not saying you can't do nothing about it, but you have to also acknowledge, okay, what can I do about the situation? What I can do about the situation, and you go from there. And be again, hold up, y'all. One more time, I said this before. Please be honest with yourself. Be honest. Don't lie to yourself. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Lie to everyone else if you want to, but the day comes that you lie to yourself, it's a wrap, baby. It's a wrap. I'm gonna tell you right now. Pull yourself to the side and be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why are we lying to ourselves right now? What's the purpose of this? And really get to the nitty gritty of these things. But anyhow, y'all, to end this off, again, I would encourage you, draw up a timeline, but go at your own pace with it. You can start with the generational if you want to, do it on the personal note if you want to, but start it. But don't just start it because I told you to do so. Don't do that. Start it because you want to, and then you want to finish it. Because I promise y'all, for the most part, you're not going to regret it. I promise y'all. Because you're going to learn a lot more about yourself. Now, I'm going to say this real quick, and I'm going to leave. Because I'm going to say this real quick, y'all. If you are afraid of what you're going to find out about yourself, sort that out first before you do the timeline. Because I understand. There are certain things some people just don't like about themselves. And the things that they do know about themselves they don't like, they can definitely feel as if they learn more about themselves in regards to this particular matter, it's just going to be more hell for them to have to pay. But I promise y'all, through all the bullshit, through all the pain, you're going to get better. Or you increase your potential. Not potential, y'all. You increase the possibility, and the probability is going to get better when you work at it. But if you don't work at it, y'all, it's just going to dissipate. Just as easy. But with all that being said, y'all, thank you for checking out the video. I know, like I said, y'all, the videos be long as dog shit anyway, so I appreciate everyone who stuck around. Anyhow, again, like the video if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, cool. If you dislike it, cool. By all means, please leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. Post notifications if you want to keep up to date when I put up a video. And is there anything else that I'm forgetting? Hold up. Stay hydrated. And I will see y'all in part 3. Peace.